We are leaving money on the table. We are actively rejecting this job, and it's nothing to do with the customer and everything to do with the job itself. This is why we refuse to install electric tankless water heaters. And I've got the math to show why. So efficiency is all the craze. You've seen it about your HVAC system, you've seen it about your water heaters, you've seen it about your cars, and why you should care about how efficient something is. And frankly, like with water heaters and HVAC systems, I get why. It saves you money. And there's a lot of marketing out there that talks about tankless and how tankless is the greatest thing since sliced bread. As somebody who has a tankless, I agree. However, I only agree if it's a gas tankless. We refuse at Yarbrough Sons, unless very specific criteria are met, to install electric tankless water heaters. And the reason is we have kind of two main reasons. One is about your comfort, your ability to use your appliance and get the most comfort out of your electric tankless water heater. The second is about your wallet, and frankly, how it's not worth the money pending the breakdown costs and how fast we've seen these things fail. So I've got this handy dandy camera over here. I'm gonna kind of napkin math some things. It'll only be here for a little bit as I weatherman through the math as to why it is not worth your comfort to have an electric tankless water heater installed in your home. So I'm gonna pull up this camera and we're gonna get after it. We're gonna do some math, nerds. So here's the math to prove it. And I'm sorry for the scribbles. I ain't no mathematist. So I had to, we're plumbers and HVAC guys. Cut us some slack. So we have this up here. This is our constant calculation as to knowing how much we need in BTUs and to achieve a certain gallon per minute, and just to make sure that we are achieving the comfort that you desire from your water heater. So here's the breakdown of the algebra. We've got gallons per minute. We've got rise in temperature. That's our target rise in temperature. 500, that's a constant that we use, and here's the breakdown of it. 1 gallon of water equals 8.34 pounds. 8.34 pounds times 60 minutes is 500 pounds of water per 60 minutes. That's how we measure, that's how we get to the gallons per minute situation. And then we need our BTUs per hour. So we have our target here. Our target in pretty much every house is gonna be about 110 to 120 degrees. So we'll aim on the upper side of that 120 degrees. And now here's the reality. When I say it's not worth your comfort, here's kind of what goes on with that. Is during the summertime when most of us drink from surface level reservoirs, some of us drink from use water from aquifers in the ground. That water is pretty constantly 60, 70 degrees. But if you are like us on city water and you are having to deal with surface water temperature in the fall, winter, and spring, that surface water temperature can be 40 or 50 degrees. Well, now we have a target temp of 120. So we need 70 degree rise in total temperature. I went ahead, did the napkin math on the electrical stuff, basically telling us how much our system is capable of in BTUs. So I took the liberty there. So we have 92,000 BTUs required to do what we need to do, divided by our target rise in temperature of 70 degrees, divided by our 500 pounds of water per 60 minutes. That gets us 1.8 to 2.5 gallons of water per minute. And I know what you're thinking. I can't drink 1.5 to 2.5 gallons of water per minute. So that's a lot of water. And you know what? You're right. If you were trying to drink that, congratulations, you win. It's worth your money. It's worth your comfort. I don't know why you're main veining some hot water from your electric tankless water heater. Side note, just for your discretion advice, don't do that. But that is not enough to run multiple appliances at once. So we can have a shower head going, or we can have a dishwasher going, or the washer going. We can't have all three at once, because then your electric tankless and all tanklesses are designed to maintain temperature while sacrificing gallons per minute. So it's going to make sure that your water stays warm and desired temperature rather than decreasing temperature and increasing gallons per minute. So what happens is whenever you have shower one going, and let's say we also try to run the dishwasher, well, now we've cut our required gallons, or we've added our required gallons per minute basically to double, or we've cut our available in half. Either way you slice it. So now that shower is going to start trickling. It's just going to... I don't know if you've buddied the Alpha shower. I'm a big enough guy that I've had to buddy the Alpha shower. I've stood in the shower. The shower head's a little bit too low. The water pressure was terrible. I've had to sit there and just like splash myself. That is the experience that you will have with an electric tankless water heater, fall, spring, and winter in Oklahoma due to the surface water temperature, because we were having to raise the temperature of that water 70-ish degrees. And frankly, your electric tankless isn't capable of keeping up because it is needing to heat so much water so quickly. And I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna be like, Tucker, but a gas can do it. And that's true. A gas can do it, and a gas is gonna have the same gallon per minute issues, but a gas gets a whole lot hotter because we can get like 200 and 300,000 BTU gas tanklesses. Whereas like on a electric, we can get like 100,000 BTU and like a little bit above that. But like the electric draw on that thing, I mean, you want to talk about data centers being bad for the environment. An electric tankless water heater, if it was going to be a 300,000 BTU electric tankless, holy cow, that thing would be turning your electrical wires red because of how much power it's trying to draw through it. But it's besides the point. Gas tanklesses are superior. I'll hear nothing of the argument that it's not. But guys, this is why I'm saying that, is whenever we look at how many gallons per minute that we can produce with an electric tankless water heater, sure, it can service a house. Sure, it can make you comfortable, and it can be an efficient appliance under the right circumstances. But the problem is if it's more than just you, or just you and your wife or your husband, whoever, well, then comes the problem of it's not going to be enough to service the home's demands and the home's needs all at one time. And frankly, if I can't believe in something to take care of you when you need it most, I'm not going to install it. We're not going to install it because you're not going to call the manufacturer of the water heater whenever it doesn't work the way you want it to. You're going to call us. You're going to call Yarbrough Sons. You're going to be asking me, Tucker, why did you sell me this thing whenever it doesn't even allow me to take a shower at full pressure and run my dishwasher at the same time? Because guess what? Life doesn't stop for anybody. You get home from work, you want to take a hot shower, and you need to run the dishes and or the washer at the same time. And you shouldn't be inhibited to do that by your water heater. There are better alternatives than an electric tankless. And frankly, that's one of the reasons, the first reason, why we say absolutely not unless we meet very specific criteria, which I'll get into. So that is the napkin math. Whenever it comes down to it, if we have to achieve a high temperature rise across cool water, which is most of the year, frankly, and let's be honest, if you take one cold shower, it's one too many. So let's not even deal with that. But that's why whenever it comes to how do we feel about electric tankless, before we get into the breakdown conversation, why we don't think it's a good fit for any homeowners in Oklahoma is because it is not capable of achieving the proper gallons per minute to run a household. And frankly, from the cost of installation to the actual real world performance in your home, it's just simply not worth the dollars that it costs to make it happen. You're not going to be pleased with your purchase, and you're not going to get the performance as far as hot water where and when you need it at all times for the price tag. It's not worth the cost. And that is reason number one why we refuse to install electric tankless water heaters. All right, I'm gonna put the camera away and we're gonna get rid of the napkin math because I'm coming for jugulars. So here's the jugular getting time. Here's why, outside of the gallons per minute, because like I said, if it's just you, you can have a wonderful experience with your tankless water heater that's electric. But here's where I get just absolutely just angry with the manufacturers of these pieces of equipment, because from a technological standpoint, these things are modern marvels. I mean, can you imagine if you brought Thomas Jefferson into modern day and showed him what the heck this thing was capable of? I gotta be honest, most of those people had never experienced a hot shower, so anything, I mean, you'd be burning at the stake because you're, possibly a witch. But if he heard you out long enough, an electric tankless water heater would just like absolutely blow his mind, because it was like, you harnessed what now? And it's heating water now? What? Okay, all right. Keep your secrets, old man. So here is the reason why I absolutely despise the manufacturers of electric tankless water heaters. And frankly, I think it's a disservice to homeowners and to plumbers alike, because they don't address this one thing: scale buildup. And here is the problem. Is scale buildup happens no matter what type of tank you have. If you have a tank, a tankless, gas, electric, you have scale, you have sediment, you have calcium, all of it is suspended in your water. And if you're on city water, you have hard water as well. The only way, like I said, there's those caveats of like, we'll install it under very specific circumstances, and that's if you have a full-blown water treatment solution in place. So now we're talking like a $15,000 water heater plus water treatment. And at that point, we have other things that we could do to keep your water more comfortable. But the problem comes with basically the heating surface when you have an electric water heater or electric tankless water heater. Is in an electric tank, you have long electric heating elements. And in a gas tank, you have long heat exchanger elements. I'll call them elements for lack of a better word. And in a tankless gas, you have a long heating element that's the entire length. But in a electric tankless. The heating element has to be so short, so small, because it is dealing with an orifice that is, constantly having a meter and all of that. So it's running around just this really small area. And here is where the problem occurs. Water behaves kind of backwards to what you think it should. When you boil something, you think, oh, it releases, it gets more soluble, and things are easier to hide in the water. But instead, what happens is whenever we run water past the heating element, if there's hardness in that water, meaning like the calcium and the magnesium and all of that, whenever we heat it up, well, that actually acts like a little bit of a magnet, for lack of a better word. And what it does is it brings more of that to the surface. And what we know about, again, I told you guys, we were getting nerdy this video is things of low density want to be in areas of higher density. And as we start to attract more and more minerals attract higher and higher volumes. And whenever we look at the heat, or let me talk about, not heat, but watts, the watt density of the heating element between a gas tankless and an electric tankless. On a gas tankless, the watt density, basically we're just backing out the heat joules required to heat the water. It's like 4,500 watts, which is a lot of energy, but it is nothing in comparison to the 27,000 watts of energy that your electric tankless element has in it at any given time. And the problem is whenever we look at heat dispersion and how we're able to get rid of that excess energy as we're heating and letting the water run through it, is we need to be able to, I am the heating element. I'm hot. Whenever we talk about the heating element itself, we need to make sure that it has the ability to dissipate excess heat. And the reality is if you have just 1/32 of an inch, and I don't know if you know this, but 1/32 of an inch is like your fingernail. And if you have 1/32 of an inch of scale buildup on an electric tankless water heater heating element, you are going to decrease its ability to dissipate excess heat by like 7-fold. So now we've made this thing basically 80% less efficient at getting rid of excess heat. So now whenever we continually cycle it on and off, it has stored heat. Whenever it continues to get hotter, it gets hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. And whenever it gets hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter, it attracts more and more and more sediment. And because it's attracting more and more sediment, it can't dissipate any more heat. And do you see the spiral that we're on? We've created a rock building machine inside of your electric tankless water heater. And because we've built a rock building machine inside of your tankless water heater, and frankly, it's not doing it at the scale that we could commoditize it and become a gravel plant, it is just going to break your electric tankless water heater. We have seen electric tankless water heaters fail as early as 3 to 6 months. And here is the catch that makes me so mad at these manufacturers. They don't warranty it. Well, Tucker, surely with the cost to install an electric tankless water heater and all the problems that it has, surely there's a long warranty. Wrong, incorrect, not the case. The manufacturer has an exclusionary clause in their paperwork. The sneaky thing that we all scroll past and just agree, accept, sign my life away, didn't read the terms of service, but oh, I did. You didn't. And in that terms of service, it talks about how they are free of any responsibility or liability if the tankless fails due to a maintenance-related issue. And would you like to know what they classify as a maintenance-related issue? Scale buildup. So we are now creating a gravel machine in your electric tankless. And in the first 3 to 6 months, because Oklahoma, we're getting this kind of goes a little bit all over the place. We're talking like grains of hardness. We measure things in grains of hardness. Acceptable is considered like 2 to like 10. And acceptable meaning like that's like treated water. Oklahoma constantly is in like the 15 or 16 range, no matter where you get it, whether it's from municipal water sources or from well sources. It's like 16 or 17 as far as total grains of hardness goes. We have really hard water. It's hard enough water that probably you could chew it if you tried hard enough. And because of that, we have a lot of sediment. And because of that sediment, if a tankless water heater electric fails, because we are going through the whole chemistry set that we talked about, well, now the manufacturers deny the warranty coverage and deny you the ability to service your electric tankless for free to replace a piece of equipment that was installed less than on occasion, less than 6 months ago, which is absolute horse crap. It is a disservice to you. It's a disservice to your home. It's a disservice to everybody involved because nobody's happy about it. You're pissed at the plumber's pissed at the manufacturer, and the manufacturer's laughing all the way to the bank. And guess what? That's why we refuse to install them. So first was about your comfort. Second was about your wallet. And it's just not worth the money when it comes to how quickly we've seen these things fail and how much it costs to replace and repair them because they don't warranty maintenance related issues. So what do we do instead, Tucker? This is a pretty doom and gloom video and I am an electric only house. Great. I have an answer for you. Heat pump water heaters. Look them up. They're incredible. Also, like, they're dumb efficient. They're like stupid efficient. And they can run more than one appliance at a single time. And you don't have a big electric heating element inside of it that's drawing tons and tons of power. Because the reason that you look at tankless, the reason that you look at more efficient water heaters is to save money, correct? Absolutely. Yes, Tucker, that's why we looked at an electric tankless water heater, because we thought it would save us money and make everybody more comfortable. I know, viewer, you're correct. That's why you look at those things. But the reality is, an electric tankless water heater is not worth your money. It's not worth your heartache or your headache. Go with a heat pump water heater. That will suffice much, much better. There are rebates for it, similar to that of an electric tankless. There's many ways to make your house more comfortable with an electric heat pump water heater rather than an electric tankless water heater. And like I said, if you have gas, this whole conversation does not apply to you because gas tankless water heaters, I am all the way on. They're like 99% efficient, which means for every dollar that we put in, we're getting 99 cents of heat or hot water out of it and only off-gassing 1%. There's not a power plant in the world that's that efficient. Suck it, electric appliances. And so with electric appliances in your house, your electric water heater, when it comes time to upgrade, for the sake of your plumber, please don't ask him to put in an electric tankless. And if your plumber agrees to put in an electric tankless without pause, I would give pause to that because I would question, have you installed any of these before? And have you seen how fast these things fail? Because in Oklahoma, my oh my, they are just dropping like daisies in the middle of August heat. I mean, it's just withered away, just one after the other, after the other. They don't last long, they're not long for this world, and frankly, you shouldn't waste your money on them. But if you know what you want to do for your home, if you need to upgrade your water heater, look at a heat pump electric water heater. That will suffice for you. It will be way more cost effective, way more efficient. Its price point is actually typically less than that of an electric tankless water heater. Its warranties are infinitely better because the tank manufacturers know that scale buildup happens, so they help warranty a lot of this stuff as well. So guys, that is why we leave money on the table constantly, why we refuse this job, because it gives a bad rap to plumbers and it never satisfies a homeowner's needs. And frankly, I don't think it's worth your money. But if you're curious what it costs to upgrade your water heater to a heat pump water heater, you can scan the QR code here or click the link down in the description and you can see all of our plumbing prices in less than about 45 seconds. And as always, guys, do something nice for somebody. You never know, it might change their life. I'm out. Yarbrough